Alright, so today's video is on Alien Resurrections, and this movie is something. I'm gonna go ahead and say it off the bat. It's bad. It's almost funny bad. One could call it horrible, almost funny horrible. I think calling it bad is a disservice to bad, because bad is not this bad. This really redefines what horrible is, I think. Let's get into it very fast here. Plot 5-5. The plot of this movie is basically, what if death doesn't matter in this universe? What if we could clone people? What if we could twirl basketballs on our fingers and when we create the clone of ourselves, we basically become prime Michael Jordan? What if Ron Perlman said generically weird things the entire movie? This movie sucks. This movie is a cash grab. This movie is a spectacle. This movie is a waste of time. It's hard to even call it that because you do get to laugh at it. I'd much rather watch this movie than Alien 3. With Alien 3, it's just bad. With Alien Resurrections, you are baffled by how bad it is. Some of you may watch the movie and say, well, this movie's not that bad. You're wrong. You're wrong. Let's keep it moving. Dialogue 4-8. One of the worst dialogues I've ever heard with my human ears. I'd rather the xenomorph screamed at me for an hour and a half, if I'm being honest. Just put a face hugger on all the people in the cast. They don't deserve their speaking privileges. It's not them, actually. It's the people that wrote the dialogue. I'm sorry. But yeah. It's hard to explain without giving it away, without, talking directly about what they say. There's some lines in here where it's like, eesh, I don't know about that, eesh. And it hits you, I'd say about 20 times in the movie. And when it's doing that, it's taking you out of it. And I don't like movies that take me out of it. I want to be in it. Yeah, not good. Acting 6. This is kind. Winona Ryder. You're the only reason this movie got a 6. Everybody else, you did a horrible job, and I want you to know that. Sigourney Weaver. What's her name? Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, props to her. Yeah, she played a teenager in Avatar: The Way of Water at 70 years old. Kind of strange, but, do what you're gonna do, I guess. Yeah, acting in this movie outside of Winona Ryder is pretty bad. Cinematography. 6-8. This movie does not look good. This movie's got some cool fight scenes. It makes some of the fight scenes look cool. There's one notable scene underwater. I'll let you figure that out. They're in space, so I'll let you figure out how that works. Not going to spoil that for you. But, yeah, there's one cool fight scene in the movie that I think looks okay. I'll just keep moving on. Soundtrack, again, I didn't notice it. Alien has had, a bunch of soundtracks that I have not noticed happening at all. So they all get a generic 7.5 because it's not bad and it's not good. It's just not, I'm just not hearing anything. So, that's the rating they get. Immersion. We don't have it on the scale here, on the scale over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a record. Our lowest immersion scale so far. Now, the reason this is up here, there's a lot of, not applicable as far as immersion goes, on my list here. This movie, they do, when you're making, a horror movie, this is, again, I'll say this about this movie, it's not even a horror movie, it's an action movie. They tried to cash in on, the team-up action, look at me, I'm Badass McGee. And I'm not a fan of that. Especially because they did it in, the corny X-Men, in the 2000s way, and not in, a cool way. I don't know what the cool way is. I don't know if we've seen the cool way done yet. I mean, the Avengers movies kind of have come close sometimes, but still, I don't think they're there yet either. Immersion's a 3. So if a 7.5 is it didn't affect whether I felt like I was in the movie or not, and a 9.5 is I felt like I was in the movie, a 3 is I don't feel like there was any possible time during this movie where I felt like I was actually in the situation that these characters were in. Because if I was, I would be like, what are you saying? That's how bad the dialogue is in this movie. Alright, so world building 7-2. This movie, it barely does more than the previous movie. The previous movie, Alien 3, they basically just said, fuck it, we're just gonna add like a little bit of world building in there of like, ooh, this is where prisoners can go, and ooh, this is what happens to like rapists and stuff like that in the universe. I'm not very interested in knowing about that. Like, we have this vast franchise that could, range over so many different things, and you decide to make it about prisoners. I think that's whack. This movie does a little bit more. It kind of goes over the way that human cloning works, and like the androids and all that. It's not notable. 7-2 for world building. Characters 7. They definitely have more notable characters than Alien 3. There's more they try to make characters important. They tried to make character like 9. They just whiffed on all of them. Like, they even whiffed on damn Ripley. How do you whiff on a pre-established character that is known as an iconic character? You made an iconic character not iconic. Weird. Completely messed that up. Fights 7-7. The fights are the best thing about this movie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Every time that they're not speaking, I am just praying that they continue not to speak more, because I know every second that a little word whispers out of their mouth, I'm going to cringe. This may seem a bit harsh. Trust me, it is not as harsh as it should be. This movie is hard to listen to. If this movie was a podcast, my ears would be bleeding. I'll put it like that. If this movie was a baseball team, they'd be single A. If this movie was an NBA role player, they'd be Kendrick Perkins. It is what it is. That's about it. Let me put the total up here. 5-6. Now, I don't have a lot of movies ranked up here yet, so I think obviously this will be topped, or one might say bottomed, because I think there's definitely going to be something below this eventually. It's just right now, the list is kind of new. These aren't all the movies I've seen, just the ones I've given thorough ratings to. And it's a 5-6. I mean, it's a bad movie. The next lowest out there is Lucy. Or no, it's not Lucy, actually. It's Alien 3. Then it's Lucy. Then The Acolyte. But yeah, I would recommend this movie more often than I would recommend Alien 3, because Alien 3 is just bad. It's just boring. It's just not worth it. This movie, if you want to spend the afternoon laughing at how bad a movie is, this movie's up there. This movie's in that category. Yeah. So the previous Alien movies are on the channel if you want to watch the reviews of them. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3. If you want to watch those reviews, those should be up on the channel. Obviously, this is Alien Resurrections, and then Prometheus and Covenant should be on the channel very soon. Spoiler alert, I like them a lot more than I like this movie. And yeah. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and peace.